You're staring at the screen. You've just sent a message heavily padded with smiling emojis, apologies, and the phrase, "no hurry." And now you are nervously waiting to see how it lands. Miles away, the recipient glances at the notification, locks the screen, and tosses the phone aside, completely unaffected by the anxiety you poured into the message. This silence happens because the message is so heavily cushioned that it removes any social pressure to respond. By softening the request to the point of invisibility, the sender has made the message easy to ignore. This dynamic illustrates the behavioral mirror. Every message you send acts as an invisible set of instructions, actively teaching the other person exactly how they are allowed to treat you. When you habitually over-justify your actions or overuse emojis, you fall into low-respect patterns. These are subconscious habits that signal a lack of confidence and a high tolerance for being deprioritized. By focusing entirely on being liked and smoothing over any potential friction, the sender effectively tells the recipient that their time and their presence are always secondary. Let's look at how this plays out in a medium-stakes scenario. A friend or a colleague sends you a quick message canceling your plans at the very last minute. This diagram breaks down the typical nice reaction. You cushion the text with filler words and a smiling emoji to ensure things don't feel awkward. This teaches the receiver your time is a free resource. Now, look at the rewrite. This revised, controlled response removes the emotional padding. It demonstrates that you are not going to endlessly adjust your life to accommodate their lack of planning. Using a firm period instead of an enthusiastic exclamation point establishes a quiet, non-reactive authority. It acknowledges the change without seeking to make the other person feel better about it. Stripping away the cushion forces the recipient to recognize that your schedule has weight, and breaking plans carries a social consequence. The stakes get higher when someone asks you for a favor that you genuinely do not want to do. The common trap here is emotional leakage. Because you feel guilty for saying no, you send a massive paragraph full of apologies and excuses to justify your decision. On the left, we see the bloated apology. It signals that you feel you need permission to say no. On the right, the alternative is brief and definitive. Brevity projects confidence, whereas over-explaining signals a desperate need for approval. Now consider the highest stakes scenario. Someone sends you an outright disrespectful comment or an insult masked as a joke. Replying with, "haha, it's okay," to smooth over your own discomfort normalizes the behavior. It teaches the aggressor that your boundaries are flexible and their disrespect will be tolerated. The required boundary-setting phrase is simply, "I didn't like that." Dropping the "ha-ha" shield removes the safety net of the joke. Without laughter to soften the blow, the aggressor must face the boundary directly. Respect is established the moment you stop begging for approval. You earn it by clearly defining your limits without needing to resort to aggression. You may worry that typing a message without emojis and filler words makes you sound cold or mean. That perceived coldness is an illusion caused by a long-term habit of overextending yourself to keep others comfortable. To the recipient, this controlled tone reads as mutual balance. You are treating them as an equal rather than an authority figure you need to placate. This new baseline applies to every interaction. You stop carrying one-sided conversations and just reply with, "nice." You accept praise with a simple, "glad it helped," rather than downplaying your value. You begin to match energy. If a recipient replies hours late, you provide a delayed, brief response in return. This shows that your time is just as valuable as theirs. This powerful shift moves your communication from a posture of constant accommodation to one of mutual balance. You continue to be respectful, but you now explicitly expect respect in return.